Hi, this is Brian Natzel, your PGA Director of Instruction here for the Golf Academy at Swan Lake Resort, and taking a look at a swing characteristic that I myself have been struggling with here lately. And really what it is called early extension. Now the definition of early extension is simply if we draw a line down your tailbone, and at any point during the golf swing, we see that your pelvis moves away from that red line. Okay, I do a pretty good job coming to the top of the golf swing. But as I start my downswing, you're going to start to see some daylight in between my pelvis and that red line. Any point in time we see that, that's considered to be early extension. And it also forces me, as my pelvis moves away from the line, meaning my pelvis is moving towards the golf ball, but it also forces me to get into a little bit of C-shaped posture here at the impact position. So now what I have to try to figure out is this a physical limitation that I've got? Getting a little older, and certainly not quite as flexible as I used to be, but in this particular image we see one thing that happens when we see players get into early extension, and this is what I've been working on to really try to get out of this. Now, early extension for me, the big miss is a pull hook, and certainly something that I want to try to avoid. But what I see here is that really my right knee and my right leg become a little bit overactive through the impact zone, and I apologize for the poor view here, the resolution on a dark day. Of course it's raining outside, but if you watch my right heel, my right foot is about right here, and as I get closer to impact we see my right heel get really active and standing up out of the shot. So now at impact my right heel is way off the ground. Okay, so this is giving me an overactive right leg, which is leading into early extension. Typical shots that you'll see with early extension for some players is a block or a devastating hook. So immediately after this video, you'll find a drill targeting early extension, and actually specifically the overactive right leg, or back leg for any of our legs.
Hi, this is Brian Natzel, your PGA Director of Instruction for the Golf Academy at Swan Lake Resort. This is another video of a different angle, camera angle. We did this drill in the past doing it face on, but I also wanted to show it on a down the line camera frame. And what it is having an overactive right knee or back leg knee that has a tendency to move towards the golf ball too much. And what ends up happening is that the lower body has a tendency to outrace the upper body in the golf club, which means that you'll have a tendency to block shots or get stuck. Typical ball flight is a block, hitting it to the right for a right-hander. Another tendency may be to bring the actual hosel into play and hit the awful S word, a shank. And it also causes another swing characteristic called early extension. So let me show you what this basically means here. And if we draw a line off of my tailbone just to kind of represent where my pelvis is in space and time, and then draw a line here with my right knee to give you just a reference point to watch my right knee. Now, players that have that right knee that dives in too much, too close to the golf ball, an overactive right knee, will get their right heel off of the ground very early in the golf swing. And if you've noticed, when I dive with that right knee and get my right heel off the ground too quickly, that I also have what's called early extension. And early extension is creating this space from my pelvis to that line that I drew on my tailbone originally. So what has happened is my pelvis has moved towards the golf ball. My right knee has moved towards the golf ball, which is going to force my spine angle to actually stand up more upright, and it's going to force me to, as I get into impact, to start to go into C-shaped posture. So it causes all kinds of posture issues as well. So really, what we're looking at is the root cause of why all this is happening is that some players it's really an overactive right knee. So here's a great drill to try to eliminate all of those things. Basically what we're going to try to do, there we can see that pelvis moving forward, trying to get rid of that. What I'm going to try to do is keep my right knee behind my left knee. Okay, we'll rewind this a little bit. So as I get to the top of the backswing, what I'm trying to do is really keep this right knee back behind my left knee. Okay, and as we start to downswing, what I want to try to do is drag my leg, my right leg, or my back leg towards my left leg as I swing through. This will help me keep my pelvis back against that line that we started on, and help me not get too overactive with the lower body, and help me get my arms and my chest and their rotation caught up to what my lower body's doing. So we'll do this in a little bit more full speed. So I'm actually a golf ball doing this. Just drag the right leg to the left leg. I actually tried to drag it even behind to really exaggerate the movement.